Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great, keeping yourself safe. Purchasing coverage can be one of the first-class monetary selections you can ever make of coverage you buy. However, I'd be prudent of you to take some matters to attention earlier than taking the plunge. An insurance policy is a must in any financial portfolio as it covers the risk associated with the loss of life or property. Since it's a long-term contract for 10 years or more, it is difficult to make changes or amend those contracts during the policy term. For absolutely everyone wondering to shop for a coverage plan, those are the 5 elements that you need to take into attention. Reputation/financial health of your insurer. When it comes to shopping for matters that require a big economic dedication, the credibility of the vendor is a critical prerequisite. When you purchase a resale flat, you'll do a cross-assessment on the house vendor from whom you're shopping for. When shopping for a second-hand vehicle, you'll seek advice from your buddies or boards at the credibility of numerous vehicle dealers. Likewise, whilst shopping for coverage, the identical sort of assessment ought to be additionally be done. Insurance is largely a settlement among you and the insurer that gives you economic safety. It is a long time period, contractual dedications out of your insurer to you that would effortlessly close 20, 30 years or maybe a lifetime. Thus, you need to make certain that your insurer isn't vulnerable to going bankrupt, which allows you to meet their contractual responsibilities and offer the payouts as promised. The sort of economic issues you can face in case your insurer turns bankrupt is unimaginable. Not best could you need to combat to get your charges back, you'll additionally supply for a brand new coverage plan. What's worse is which you won't get the identical sort of deal you had to start with due to the fact the threat of ensuring you may maximize possibly growth over the years. For starters, you can need to take a look at the credit score for the insurer, given via way of means of one of the 3 credit score agencies. Each insurer is given a credit score that defines how possibly they're capable of meet their economic responsibilities, which includes the contractual duty with you. Another element that you may do is to test whether or not the insurer is an SDIC Policy Owners Protection Scheme member. Under the PPF scheme, you may get safety for the responsibilities that the insurer has promised you with inside the occasion they cross bust. You won't fear as a good deal given SDIC's shield for you. How your insurance works. A critical component to take into account while shopping for coverage is whether or not you, without a doubt, recognize the way it works. If you ask your buddies whether or not they very own a coverage policy, a maximum of them may say yes. But in case you ask them whether or not they recognize what their coverage protects them towards, they won't be capable of providing you with a pleasant answer, not to mention provide an explanation for to you ways their coverage works. As a coverage policyholder, it's far critical with the purpose of recognize what you're paying for. We aren't announcing which you want to recognize the complete mechanics at the back of coverage. However, you ought to be privy to the unique occasions below while you make claims for your coverage policy. This will assist you to get a clear concept of the sort of safety you want earlier than you devote to shop for the coverage. Understanding how your coverage works and occasions below which you may make claims will even assist you to keep away from having overlapping insurance. Thus, having a terrific economic guide who's capable of summarizing how your coverage works are critical. Does your insurance suit your needs? Before you're making the economic dedication to shop for coverage, ask yourself this question: what does this coverage plan healthy into my wishes? Every form of coverage plan is supposed to provide economic safety for unique components of your existence. For example, medical insurance is supposed to offset your capability hospitalization bills. On the alternative hand, existence coverage is supposed to provide economic safety for your family ought to an existing converting occasion or dying take place. Critical illness coverage can pay you a lump sum upon the analysis of a CI, so you can defray your clinical prices and preserve your cutting-edge lifestyle whilst recuperating. Thus, you want to be very clean approximately the cause of proudly owning the coverage plan and the way it suits your economic sports plan. If now no longer, you may become spending cash on a safety plan that doesn't fit your wishes. It is suggested which you assess your coverage often for the reason that your wishes can alternate as you develop into unique levels of existence. 4. Think about protection needs first, then consider your wants. The number one goal of purchasing coverage is for safety, particularly for your family. But maximum human beings locate coverage each morbid and unexciting, particularly while we're paying charges without seeing any actual tangible advantages. Thus, it's far human nature to our seeking extra thrilling economic merchandise like investments in which we will see our cash growing. However, coverage is the muse of economic making plans. It is a want in preference to a need. You can't begin your economic making plans via way of means of considering investments first. Rather, you want to begin your economic making plans via way of means of first considering the varieties of coverage you want. Protection wishes like hospitalization and surgical expenses, dying, overall and everlasting disability, and crucial infection insurance are primary coverage insurance to guard you or your dependents toward an undesired situation. Once you've got included the basics, you may then begin to discover the good or haves like investments or saving plans. Many experts advise that the claim settlement ratio of an insurance company should be also considered when buying a product. However, this should not be of concern as long as you have provided the correct information in your policy form. As I mentioned earlier, the insurance sector is highly regulated, hence the chances of a rightful claim not being settled are rare. In fact, the average claim settlement ratio of the insurance sector is above 80%, and most companies have healthy ratios. Keep your insurance premium affordable. Avoid over budgeting. Since coverage is the cornerstone of economic making plans, you ought to get as good deal of it as you may, right? Well, now no longer quite. Besides thinking about whether or not you want the quantity of economic safety which you are seeking, you furthermore might want to take into account whether or not you're capable of managing to pay for the charges. If you're overcommit to your coverage price range, it could be adverse on your economic support plan. Overcommitting your coverage price range can result in undesirable early termination of your coverage policy. Claim settlement experience is the moment of truth for your life insurance plan. Losing the breadwinner is bad enough for your family, and if they have to struggle to receive the only financial support they will have, it almost defeats the purpose of life insurance. This takes place while you are not able to maintain paying your charges because of different economic commitments, or maybe retrenchment. You may become having to forfeit safety, which you without a doubt want. Life insurance can offer a measure of financial reassurance to your loved ones if something were to happen to you. The younger and healthier you are when buying the life insurance, the lower your premiums are likely to be. It's important to compare various types of life insurance to find the policy that's right for you and your financial situation. It's possible to own more than one life insurance policy, though you may be required to complete a medical exam to qualify. Some of the important things you should know about insurance are, in addition to finishing a fitness questionnaire, you'll be required to finish a paramedical examination as a part of the lifestyle coverage underwriting process. If you purchase a time period lifestyle coverage, then later determine you need lifetime coverage, you'll be capable of converting your present coverage to everlasting lifestyles coverage. Check together along with your enterprise in case you suppose you'll be past due on a payment. Many will permit 30 to 60 days without converting the coverages guaranteed. Consider speaking to your coverage agent or economic consultant approximately the professionals and cons of proudly owning more than one lifestyle coverage guidelines and what tax implications that could have, if any. And finally, one of the most neglected sections of the policy, knowing what your life or term insurance plans covers is only one side of the coin. To set your expectations straight, you also need to look at what is not covered in a life insurance plan. For example, life insurance does not cover death during adventure sport activities, including bungee jumping, skydiving, dirt racing, etc. Similarly, war, terrorist attack, rioting, and even death while driving under the influence of alcohol and narcotics are also out of the umbrella range. Thus, buy a policy that helps you not only safeguard your family's future, but also does it conveniently. With these 5 factors in place, you can certainly hope to achieve this goal. So, that's it for today's video. Please watch our playlist on insurance sector and cryptocurrency if you haven't haven't watched yet, where I explain everything about it. Friends, do not forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon and click notification, all for more amazing videos. And do leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll be back with some more mind-blowing contents in the next video. Till then, bye.